Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Strengthening Productivity with Grabber Steel Framing Fasteners. This webinar is sponsored and presented by Grabber Construction Products. My name is Tan Nguyen, AWCI's Education Program Manager. At this time, I'd like to introduce our presenters, Jason Block and Sam Sanderson. Jason Block is a production manager and packaging specialist with a background in graphic design and print. Jason's experience with variable printing and data management has allowed him to lead several data-driven initiatives at the company and has given him a unique understanding of Grabber's many products and services. With him today is Sam Sanderson. Sam is the technical product engineer at Grabber Construction Products and has been with the company for 7 years. With a background in mechanical engineering, he provides technical support to contractors and customers and leads the ongoing evaluation and certification activities for Grabber's products. So welcome, Jason and Sam.
Thank you, Tal, and welcome everyone. Glad to be with all of you today. I am Sam Sanderson. I've been with Grabber for several years, and I'm with Jason today. We're excited to be here and eager to share with you our perspective on strengthening productivity with Grabber steel framing fasteners and other solutions. Jason, take it away.
All right, thanks, Sam. So our claim has always been Grabber is the professional's choice. And while that's a true statement, we have to be able to back it up. So when you purchase Grabber fasteners, you know that what you'll get. You're going to get quality from every fastener in the bucket, box, or the clamshell. That all starts when the screws are made at the mill. We have implemented several inspection and testing points that ensure the Grabber quality is never lacking. So as you can see here, we test and inspect after every step of the manufacturing process, thus ensuring every Grabber screw can be labeled quality. So we can go just get right into why Grabber quality is second to none by looking a little more closely at what our manufacturing process is. First, we start with the wire quality. Reliable fasteners depend on reliable material. We make great fasteners, which is why Grabber sources and uses only the best quality wire with less than 5% scrap material mix. This usually comes from a blast furnace rather than an electric furnace, which can have up to 50% scrap material. I won't name any names here, but there are fasteners out there with this type of scrap material mix. Our wire is called cold heading wire because the head and threads are formed without adding heat to soften the metal. Thus, it does not change the metallurgic structure of the wire and keeps its integrity. This ensures the metal wire will not split, crack, or burst during the milling process. The only heat treatment is added later in the process to ensure sufficient hardening of the screw, but Sam's going to talk about that in a little later slide. So once we bring the wire in, this brings us to our first inspection point. The first inspection is the wire itself before any real work gets done. This ensures the wire is of high enough quality to be milled into a Grabber screw, and it confirms the percent of scrap material in the wire. Once the metal wire is cut to length, called a blank, it is placed into the heading die to shape the head of the screw. The wire is squeezed in the die, not heated. So as mentioned before, the metallurgic integrity is unchanged during the head forming process. Grabber changes our heading dies 30 to 50% more often than most manufacturers to ensure consistent head sizes and shapes, from box to box and fastener to fastener. That means the head size spec'd by the engineer will be the head size you can be assured you get. Now we're going to take a little time out from our manufacturing process and just go over some of the head types we have for our steel framing screws. They all adhere to ASTM C1513 for load-bearing surface and steel framing screws. Of course, we have the pan head. It's a flatter top and rounded sides with a load-bearing surface. It's ideal for steel-to-steel application. Of course, the dome head, completely rounded head with a load-bearing surface. Our modified truss head, designed with a larger bearing surface under the domed head. These are ideal for securing lath to steel. Our hex head, it's a higher profile head, staple of steel framers and using maximum torque. The pan framing head, it's a flat top rounding into cylindrical sides and a flat bearing surface. the flat pan head. It's a lower profile pan head. It's ideal for steel construction that will be overlaid with drywall or another type of sheathing. And the revised flat pan head used with dimpled cold rolled steel and will fit flawlessly. So there's just some of the heads that we offer. Let's get back into the milling process here. The next step is to punch the recess. And just like the head dies, the wire is squeezed into shape rather than being heated. And just like the head dies, we change our recess dies 30 to 50% more often as well. This ensures tighter tolerances and a more precise recess, thus allowing for better bit engagement and is less likely to cam out or to wobble. And some of our recess types that we offer, obviously a big variety here, different sizes of each, from conventional to proprietary designs and from lower to higher torque applications. We begin with our locks drive. That's Grabber's proprietary recess. It has 8 points of contact. It will not strip out, and it allows for much more torque than one of the conventional drives. The Phillips drive, of course, that's classic and standard. The X drive, which is a variant of the Phillips, and it's generally used with our revised flat pan head screws. There's the square drive. It's classic and ideal for driving screws into metal or wood. And of course, we have the hex nut driver, which allows maximum torque when driving a hex head screw. And let's get back to the milling process. So after we punch the heads and punch the recesses, we come up to another inspection. This is our second inspection point, and it ensures that the head and the recess tolerances are accurate and correct. And at this point, the heads and recesses are tested using drill bits and other tools to ensure the proper size and fit. So after that inspection, we go to the drill point, and we're going to punch it into the blank. As you can see on the slide, the point is squeezed again. There's no heat, and the remaining flake is removed. Once again, we change our point dies 30 to 50% more often than most other manufacturers, allowing our drill points to be sharper and more consistently made from screw to screw. Grabber does everything in our power to ensure only the highest quality screws end up in your hands. Look at that. Here's our third inspection. This ensures the drill point tolerances. We're checking for any defects in the point and that all the flake has been removed. Grabber, once again, does not use heat to form or cut our threads. This keeps the threads stronger and sharper, and you can feel it. It also results in a superior thread both in tapping strength and material fatigue endurance. Just like the head and the recess dies, it is necessary to change our threading dies 30 to 50% more often as well. Do you see the pattern emerging here? There's nothing like sticking your hand in a box of Grabber screws and really feeling how much sharper the threads are compared to anyone else. So once we've made the threads, it's time for another inspection. That's right. Of course, we inspect the screw again to check for any gross defects and surface issues with the threads. This confirms the threads are clean, smooth, there's no split crests are allowed. Do our first poll question here. True or false? Tapping screws are externally threaded fasteners with the ability to tap their own internal mating threads when installed and can be either self-drilling or self-piercing. Okay, well, it looks like everyone on this call definitely knows what they're talking about because, of course, that answer is true. And now I'm going to pass the baton over to Sam for a minute.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Now turning back to screw manufacturing again. The carbon steel wire that originally was soft and pliable enough to form into a screw must now be heat treated and hardened. Screws are conveyed through a hot furnace, brought up to temperature, and then cooled quickly to achieve a specific case hardness. Proper heat treatment is critical and results in the right case hardness so screws can penetrate steel framing and tap their own internal mating threads. To ensure proper heat treatment, the heat treating equipment is regularly monitored to ensure it is functioning properly and within specifications. Proper heat treatment means more consistent fasteners from box to box. And another inspection keeps Grabber screws on track. I will just mention that for the Grabber screws that are listed in an ICC ES evaluation report, they are manufactured under a quality control program with annual surveillance inspections by ICC ES. Many of Grabber's steel framing screws are ICC ES evaluated, and more will be added in the near future. Following manufacturing, screws undergo a dip spin cleaning to remove any minor vestigial bits and to prepare the raw steel surface to receive a uniform rust-inhibiting coating. The screws are prepared for their final plating or coating finish, whether that's phosphate, clear zinc, yellow zinc, or Grabber's exterior grade E-coat finish called Grabber Guard. Depending on the corrosion resistant needs of your application, there are a variety of platings, coatings, and material options. For interior applications, phosphate, clear zinc, and yellow zinc are suitable. For exterior applications, you can trust Grabber Guard, which has a minimum of 1,000 hours of salt spray resistance, or you can select Grabber Guard 15 or 1500, which has 1,500 hours of salt spray resistance when tested according to ASTM B117. Maybe you think you need stainless steel for an exterior application. There are a few things to consider. First, 300 series stainless steel alloys such as 304 or 316 are not typically used in steel framing, mainly because they cannot be hardened through heat treatment and therefore cannot penetrate cold formed steel framing members. Instead, they are recommended for fire retardant treated or FRT wood and other applications requiring severe corrosion resistance. The second point is 410 stainless steel can be hardened through heat treatment and can penetrate steel framing. However, the trade-off is that its corrosion resistance is not as good as other stainless steel alloys. And third, be aware of the potential for galvanic corrosion, also called dissimilar metal corrosion, between stainless steels and zinc-coated or galvanized CFS framing members. Keep in mind that specific circumstances and environments must be fully assessed by qualified professionals to assure that adequate materials and corrosion protection methods are in place. The ultimate choice of the materials used and the corrosion protection methods employed remain the responsibility of the end user. Grabber strongly encourages consulting with local design engineers for all corrosion protection decisions. In-process inspections and testing are indispensable to Grabber screw manufacturing, as you've seen. Before products are released for shipment, representative samples undergo a final inspection. The final inspection verifies the product meets dimensional requirements, performance and physical property specifications, as well as Grabber screw quality standards. The inspection records are reviewed, logged, and maintained appropriately. At each manufacturing location, there are established ISO 9001 certified quality management policies and procedures. These include things like calibration records, document control, traceability, and control of non-conforming parts. Routinely, and sometimes randomly, a contracted third-party agency will perform a final inspection of Grabber screws prior to shipment. Grabber also has an in-house lab for checking, testing, and verification of the screws. There are Grabber branch locations spread across the country, and they are connected to an increasing nationwide dealer network. And Grabber has a presence that is growing within the retail space as well. If you look for them, you will find Grabber screws are packaged in color-coded boxes according to application, from non-structural to structural steel, interior wood, exterior wood, stainless steel, and cement board. They come in a variety of package sizes, and as is stated on all our packaging, Grabber offers a replacement or refund warranty if you are not completely satisfied. So, time for another poll question. It may or may not be more difficult than the previous one. It's also true or false. Use of a larger than specified screw size is permitted if the installation is in accordance with the minimum design spacing and edge distance. We'll give you a few moments to think and respond. Okay, got a little bit of a mixed bag. The answer is true. Larger than specified screw size is permitted as long as it's in accordance with minimum design spacing and edge distance. Jason, I think we're back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. So it would be antediluvian thinking to be on the job site without any of this PPE. So we're going to take a quick minute to just go through some of the PPE that we recommend. Of course, a good pair of steel-toe boots, hard hat, safety gloves, safety glasses, knee pads if you're kneeling. They're high-vis clothing, of course. I mean, you can't go without that on the job site these days, right? So we're throwing in a little advertisement here and make sure that you're wearing the proper gear and that you're staying safe out there. Let's get back a little bit to our fasteners now. Just some examples of some common steel connections that grabber screws are used for. Here you have stud and track, ridge connections, flat strapping, web stiffeners, box beam headers, cripple stud connections, resilient channel, bracing, blocking clips, inline framing, etc. Pretty much if it's steel to steel or steel to wood or wood to steel, grabber has a fastener for it. I want to just take a moment and demonstrate some of our packaging and how it's a little easier to understand. Any non-structural cold form steel framing screws, that's 18 to 30 mil, 25 to 20 gauge, is going to be in a red package like this. And those all have a sharp point rather than a drill point. We like to think that it just makes it easier to figure out what you're using. On that same note, any structural cold form steel for 20 to 12 gauge is going to be in this blue color. It means it will have a drill point. When it gets busy and cluttered on the job site, we like to think that just looking for the color is the best and easiest way to find what you're looking for. In case you're also wondering, I don't have a slide on this one, but we use yellow for our interior wood screws, brown for our exterior coated wood screws, green for anything with cement board into wood or metal, and gray is our stainless steel screws. So that one was quick for me, but we're going to do another poll question here. I believe is our last one, but this one's multiple choice, so you got to put your thinking caps on this time. What is the minimum number of exposed screw threads required to extend through the steel connection or to protrude past the back side of the supporting steel material? We have 2, 3, 4. It depends on the screw's thread per inch, or none of the above. It's just until the screw is nice and tight. I'll give you guys a minute. All right, it looks like the majority of you, once again, got it correct. The answer is 3. I'm going to turn this back over to Sam now and let him kind of finish it out for us.
All right, thanks, Jason. How can grabber steel framing screws help strengthen your productivity? For structural connections, you can count on reliable drill points ranging in size up to number 5 for thick sections. You will experience less waste, and grabber drill points are designed to balance speed and dependability. Without that balance, you can get drill points that are designed for speed but are vulnerable to breaking. Or at the other extreme, you can get stout, robust drill points that are much less productive. The unique vector point is found on some of grabber's sharp point framing screws. This exclusive design means increased speed and reduced torque. We'll get into the details of the vector point on the next slide. While there are studies that report significant cost savings with prefabrication, it can still be challenging to embrace and to execute. We know there are enough hurdles to successfully adopting prefab without having to worry about the screws you use. Grabber has some solutions like collated screws and auto feed systems to assist you in realizing those prefab cost savings. Now the vector point. The Vector Point's novel design begins at the tip with a shockingly sharp point, which enables the tip to easily pierce steel framing. But the key to the Vector Point's install speed is in the asymmetric thread profile at the tip. If you look closely at the tip thread profile, it has a leading thread flank with a low angle. This low angle reduces penetration resistance and tapping torque and results in a faster installation. The taper of the screw body provides a smooth transition from the asymmetric thread profile at the tip to the conventional thread profile that's under the head. That will be, excuse me, holding the connection together. The techniques to proper screw driving are just as important as the wire grade and the screw's features and quality. If the surface speed is too fast, meaning the screw spins too quickly on the material, the drill point will not bite into the metal. It will just rub without cutting very much. This causes a lot of friction, which overheats and dulls the drill point. A dull drill point will require more pressure to bite into and penetrate the steel, and the excessive pressure will lead to broken cutting edges and drill points. The angle. The cutting surface of the drill point is made up of the leading or cutting edges and the corners. The corners of the drill point can break if they are overloaded. They become easily overloaded when the screw is being driven at an awkward slant or tilt. Ideally, the axis of the screw should be perpendicular to the workpiece when driving the screw, so the drilling load is distributed more evenly across the entire cutting surface, the cutting edges, and the corners of the drill point. Pressure. The end pressure is the pressure on the drill point when it makes contact with the workpiece. The end pressure is important, and the Industrial Fasteners Institute, IFI, has a standard for steel self-drilling tapping screws. To quote the standard, end pressures of 25 to 65 pounds are required for efficient drilling. Excessive pressure, especially during the initial penetration of the drill point, increases the amount of material being removed by the flutes and could result in drilling torques in excess of the strength of the drill point. That's the end of the quote. This is a similar scenario to the dull drill point resulting from too much friction that I mentioned moments ago. Excessive pressure and or friction will create problems for screws. The IFI standard also cautions against excessive gaps between layers in multi-layer applications. Excessive gaps between layers can lead to broken screw drill points. This can happen since, quote, the tapping in one layer begins before completion of the drilling of the other layers, and since the advancement of the screw in the tapping operation is faster than the drilling operation. The net result would be the same as when exerting excessive pressure. And that's the end of the quote from the standard. In addition to proper driving techniques, I'll offer a few comments on the appropriate tools. The conventional screw gun is an established tool in the industry and is regularly used for driving screws. The impact driver is an option that is increasingly prevalent in the industry. Perhaps you're seeing it or using it more yourself. However, because of the torque output and because of the number and intensity of impacts produced by an impact driver, care and caution should be exercised when driving screws with it. Where possible, the impact driver should be set to low speed and low torque settings. You might also consider an accessory like an impact clutch bit holder to extend the life of driver bits and screws. Grabber Construction Products created the first collated screw fastener system and continues to be a leader in construction technology and innovation. Auto-feed collated screw systems can help bring apprentices up to speed more quickly, reduce material waste, give you cleaner and more accurate finishes, and reduce worker fatigue, all of which helps you get the job done faster and safer. Grabber has collated fasteners for steel framing, for hanging drywall, deck construction, as well as for other applications. In steel framing construction, precision and speed are critical. The SuperDrive Mach 1 is the first collated system truly designed to meet the demands of on-site and off-site steel framing. It's the perfect solution for professionals who are looking to enhance productivity, improve installer safety, and reduce material waste. Its short nose and compact profile are designed around the typical lengths of steel framing screws from 7/16 to 7/8 of an inch. And it's designed to be more maneuverable in a cramped workspace. The nose piece of the Mach 1 features a no-slip tip, which is crucial to maintaining production speed and accuracy. As you can imagine, productivity can suffer if the nose piece is skating around on the framing surface while you're trying to align everything and drive the screw. The Mach 1 connects to your favorite brand impact driver, whether that's DeWalt, Makita, or Milwaukee, and the feed track holds a strip of 50 collated framing screws. That's enough to screw studs to top and to screw studs to bottom and to top track at 16-inch spacing along a 20-foot wall before needing to replace the strip. Grabber is known for drywall screws, but clearly Grabber has quality screws that are excellent in all kinds of applications, including steel framing, sheathing attachment to studs, interior wood, exterior wood, and cement board construction. Grabber Construction Products has been producing innovative solutions since 1967. We are committed to advancing contractor productivity by staying focused on customer service excellence and industry-changing products. Our local Grabber pros are available to help you find the best solutions to get the job done right. And Jason, I think it's over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about something that's really near and dear to our hearts over here at Grabber. We just came out with our new Fastener Solutions catalog, which kind of doubles as submittal sheets. This is the most complete and comprehensive data Grabber has ever had, and it's all in one book, and it's available to all of you. I just quickly want to go through what's on these sheets. We have new images, we have application info, we have compliance info for the screws, installation info. We do have some features, but these are really not made to be flyers and to tout how great Grabber's features are. No, these are really for you, the builder, to make sure that you're using the screw that is right for the job. So there are some features, but we don't go into big detail about that. It has corrosion info, it has technical info, and of course, most importantly, it has ordering info. You know, make sure you can order exactly what you want. So this is available as a PDF on our website. It's available as individual sheets for the different screws that we offer, whether that be for drywall, for wood, for steel. And it's also available as an interactive catalog on our website. So you can see the website down there. There's also going to be a QR code on my next slide. So if you don't want to jot that one down, you can just wait for the next slide. But you can view the entire catalog online or on your phone. That's one of the greatest parts about this. You can also search by part number if you know the screw you're looking for. You can search by keyword if you don't know the screw you're looking for. You also have the ability on this interactive catalog to remove pages or crop pages to your liking. So if you don't need, let's say you don't need all the wood screws, all you want are, structural steel screws, you can remove everything but the structural steel screws and just keep that as a PDF on your phone or on your computer, wherever it might be. So we're really excited about this, and we hope that you guys will be too, and that you can use it. So like I said, the bottom QR code here is to that online catalog. There's also an order form there, so you can order a hard copy of your catalog. We'll send that to you free of charge. And along with the catalogs now, we're actually sending 2 demo kits of our non-structural and structural steel framing screws. It comes with some samples of the screws, some bits, and a little bit of verbiage about what each one is. And that top QR code there is our steel framing screws landing page. It'll talk about everything there is to know about our Grabber steel framing screws. So I'm going to leave this up here for just a second, give everyone a chance to scan both of those if you want to. But other than that, that is our presentation. We thank you for being here.
All right. Thank you, Sam and Jason. We do have a couple of questions coming in here. I think you mentioned this before, but just clarifying, do your steel framing screws have an ICC report?
Sam, you want to grab that one?
Yeah, I do. Many of our steel framing screws do have an ICC evaluation report. Not all of the possible screws in our inventory do, but many. The big, the go-to fasteners for steel framing do. So hopefully that helps. If there are some specific questions that I can help answer offline, I'm happy to do that. But yes, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah, and I'll tag onto that, Sam, on our new Fastener Solutions catalog, either online or the printed copy. Next to each screw that has an ICC evaluation report, that is stated. So pretty easy to find if you just go there.
Okay, thank you. So, another question here. What is the thickest CFS framing member it can penetrate without self-drilling? And this is talking about, I think, vector point.
Yeah. So the sharp point screws, like the vector point, are designed for the thinner gauges, the 18 mil to 30 mil. That's where it is designed for. That's where it performs best. I think some people have pushed it and ventured outside of that, but its primary design and intent is for those lighter gauges, 18 mil to 30 mil.
Next question, where can I find information about tension and pull-out values for your steel framing screws?
That's a great question as well. My first direction would be go check the ICC ES evaluation report, but also there are some resources to address that question in our steel, in our catalog. At the back, in the reference pages at the back, there are resources there to help answer that question as well.
So you covered this in your presentation here, but with all the other brands we can use, why choose Grabber?
Great question. Jason, do you want to take a crack at that?
Yeah, well, I'd say kind of the whole presentation, Grabber, you can be rest assured that has been, I mean, it's made from only the best material, and it's been inspected all the way through. So you know every time you pull a screw out of a Grabber container, you're going to get a quality screw. And it's going to match the screw that you just used, and it's going to match the screw that you use after it. You're not going to have any guesswork. You're not going to have broken heads or any other type of fault with that screw as you're driving. So I think order one of those fastener catalogs, get some of those demo kits, and give it a try yourself. And call me out if I'm not being truthful.
And then I think one of your clients asking, do you have a direct sales location in North Carolina? And if not, how can they get a hold of you to order or purchase items?
Yes, we do have a location in Conover, North Carolina. It's just outside of Charlotte. But I would suggest go to our website and click on the Find Your Grabber Pro. There's a small questionnaire there just to get your contact information, and we'll get the appropriate Grabber Pro to reach out to you.
Great. And question here regarding corrosion. Do you have information about dissimilar materials for screws?
So yes, we have some resources, some information available on our website. I think there are some resources in the catalog as well. Dissimilar metal corrosion or galvanic corrosion is not unique to grabber fasteners. That's something that is, so it's prevalent throughout the industry. If you have dissimilar metal contact, there's the potential for galvanic corrosion. So there is, you can also do an internet search and find information about galvanic corrosion generally there, but we do have information on our website and in our catalog about dissimilar metal corrosion, galvanic corrosion there, and more detailed or specific questions I'm happy to answer offline as well. So hopefully that helps.
Can the person order multiple catalogs?
Yes, I believe so. See, I might actually have to look up how many for one order, but I'm sure you can get multiple catalogs. Yes.
And then what other types of products does Grabber carry?
Oh boy. Boy, if you're on a construction site, chances are that Grabber offers it. We have everything from drywall carts and dump carts to scaffolding, some tools. Sam, I seem to be blanking, so if you're thinking of any that I'm not, go for it.
I think that's a good answer, Jason. There's a wide variety of things to support many aspects of construction on the job site. I think the Grabber website will list the product categories and can show a lot of what is available for other Grabber products. The catalog focuses on fasteners, but on the Grabber website there are many categories, as Jason mentioned, for different products that we sell. Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Jason. Sam, that concludes our Q&A session and our presentation today. Thank you, Grabber, for sponsoring this webinar. Again, if you need anything, please scan that QR code, and then we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, everyone.